Trevor asked if I could show how to do a Coverflow transition using Flinto. So I've set up some screens in Sketch, and I've got 3 images that are going to be part of this Coverflow transition, and they're all flat here, so I'm going to 3D rotate them in Flinto. And I'm just using Sketch here to set everything up. So I'll use the Sketch plugin that we have to export this as a Flinto document. And here in Flinto, I'm going to 3D rotate some of these layers just to improve the Coverflow effect. And I'm going to go with a Y rotation of 60. So I'll use -60 for the ones on the right and 60 for the ones on the left. Take a look at how I've named the layers here. All the layers in the center are called center in the layer list, and the ones on the left are called left, and the ones on the right are called right. This isn't strictly required, but it's going to really help when I try to reuse the transition that I'm going to create, and you'll see why in a moment. Now, one other thing I want to do is I'm going to use the connected layer feature to create this transition. I'm going to connect all the similar layers. So like this lake is going to be connected to the small version of the lake. But you can see that on this screen, the city image doesn't exist, but it exists here. That's going to mean there's not going to be a layer to connect it to, which there's ways to work around that, but I'm actually just going to take this city layer, copy it, and paste it onto this screen. And I'll put it at the bottom below the other two. I'm going to name it off left. So this is going to be actually off the screen. So I'm moving it over till it's completely off the screen. And I'm going to be able to connect that layer to the other city layer here, and it's going to make the transition very easy to reuse. So I'll do the same thing here, where I'm going to copy the lake, paste it onto this screen, drag it off the edge, and put it down below the other two and name it off right. Cool, now I'm ready to start creating the transition. So I'm going to start with this one here, and I'll use the F shortcut to create a link it over to the lake screen, and I'll click New Transition. I'm going to center the screens on top of each other and start connecting all the similar layers. So center here connects to right on the other screen, and you can see in the thumbnail that those are the same image, and so I'll click Connect Layers, and now those two are connected. And you can see when I toggle that they're connected and animating from one position to the other. So I'll just connect left with center because I can see those two are the same image. And left with off left because those two are the same image. Connect those. Cool, so that looks pretty much right. And just for fun, I'll add a bit of a spring effect down here in my timing inspector. Then I'm going to name this transition Coverflow. All right, so I've created the transition, but I'll have to do a little bit more work to make it work in all the circumstances. I'll now apply that same transition to this link. Well, I'm going to create a link here. It goes from the city screen to the ocean screen, and it's going to use that same Coverflow transition, but I'm going to click the edit button here because I want to make sure that it's working right. And so as I toggle it, I can see it's not working perfectly. This image on the right and the off right, those two should be connected. But there was no layer called right and off right on the other version of this transition. Well, there was a right, but not an off right. So I'm going to connect those. And that's all I needed to do to fix this. And you know there's no off left on this one. And you can see here that the off left tag and its corresponding left tag are unassigned here. That's fine because we don't have an off left image in this instance of the transition. So remember, we're working with two different screens here, but it's still the same transition. So I'll save that. And now I'm going to link going in the other direction. So when I click on this one, the city, it's going to go to the city screen. But we're going in the other direction now. So I'm going to choose the Coverflow transition, but I'm going to choose reverse transition. And again, I'll click edit just to be sure that it's all working properly. And it is. The tags are getting automatically assigned because they match based on the layer name. So if the tag name is right and there's a layer named right, it'll automatically match up. That's why I'm able to really easily assign this transition and have it automatically work. And that's why I named the layers that way to start with. So there's one more here. I'll link that over. That's going to use Coverflow, and it's also going in the reverse direction. Cool, now I've got all those linked up. Let's check out the preview. So everything's working. The last step is to add gesture control to this. So I'm going to use the draw link feature. I'm going to hit the D shortcut. Then you can click and drag to draw a link. And I'll link that from this screen. The only direction you can go from there is to the ocean screen. And that's going to be a left swipe. So if you swipe in the left direction, you're going to go to this screen using the Coverflow transition. And then if you swipe left on this one, I'll draw a big link. Left swipe, Coverflow transition. So same thing. Now from this screen, you can go back to the other direction. So it's going to be a right swipe, Coverflow transition, but I need to reverse it because we're going the other direction. And on this screen, it's already got a left swipe, and I want to add a right swipe. So you can add a gesture by clicking here, or there's a shortcut where you can hold Shift and then click New Link. You can click the link button or use the F shortcut. As long as you're holding Shift, it'll add an additional gesture, which you can see in the right side inspector. And I'll set that one to right swipe, Coverflow, reverse, done. So that should be everything. Let's check out the preview one more time. And you can see now it works with gesture control, which is really fun. So that's my Coverflow tutorial. It's kind of an advanced transition because it's using a lot of connected layers and reusable transitions. If you're a little bit confused by this, go back and check out our tutorials on connected layers and reusable transitions. You want to understand how the animation tags work and how connecting layers works. And this was a request from Twitter, so if you have a request of your own or you'd like more details, feel free to contact us, Flinto, on Twitter. Be happy to do more of these based on requests.